Welcome back to my work table. That's why it's messy, it's my work table. And tonight I'll clean it up and it will suddenly be transformed back into my dining room table. It's magic. That's one of the reasons that I only pour and work on art once a week, is because I don't like to have the mess out. So this is my third ever time doing fluid painting, and this week I really changed things up a lot. I went and I got 2 big bottles of black and white and decided to just experiment with those in one color, and I thought the big bottles would also ease my worries about using too much paint. I got cardboard to keep my paper from buckling, so I just put the paper on top of it, and then instead of using tape I use these handy binder clips. You can see that it did take off some of the paint, and in one case some paint got underneath the cardboard and I wasn't careful taking it off and it made a hole. I'm okay with that just because I'm going to be cutting these up and using them for art journaling. But that change was the first significant change. I also, instead of using watercolor paper, went to the craft store and found some heavier paper made for acrylic that was already in this size. I went to Michael's and used the 50% off coupon. I also have figured out that the best way for me to get cells is to use silicone. I have a hair product. I don't think it's as good as 100% pure silicone, so I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's just what I had. And I used that during my second pour, and that's how I get cells. And I also heard in one of the videos that you want it to be the consistency of melted ice cream. So I do my acrylic paint, and then I put in Mod Podge and some dish soap and water and mix that up, and then at the very end I put in silicone and just barely swirl it around the cup once or twice, because I think over mixing will stop you from getting cells. And so I wanted to try a ring pour this week because I was really unhappy last week that my results weren't there. I know it's funny to be discouraged after 2 weeks of trying to make art. So I went and I looked back at all the art I really love, and it all had kind of this stone-like pattern. And so I decided to stop doing dirty pours and just focus on doing ring pours. I wasn't sure if I was up for the challenge, but I'm really pleased with the results. This was my first try, and my paint consistencies weren't all even, so the black was at the bottom, and this is actually out of the same cup, but the white is you can see here it was near closer to the top. So these are dry, by the way. They looked really pretty and glossy when they were wet, but I wanted to, show the dry version, which I'm very happy with. So the ring pour didn't work here. The consistency was all over the place. It kind of just slid off the paper, so it looks more like a dirty pour. So I fixed the consistencies so they were all the same for all the colors. And the next one I did was this beautiful ring pour. It's probably my second favorite of the night. There's a little gold metallic in there. I can see that there is some cracking, probably because the paint was so thick. I did let myself use a lot of materials this week compared to last week, just so, because I felt that that was really affecting my results, and that's why I wanted to switch to the big bottles and use fewer colors, was so I wouldn't hold back really because of the price. And so I'd rather have fewer colors and a better end result, but I'm still really happy with that. And the ring pour, I went back to this I think twice while it was drying and just kept shifting it, and that was a really good lesson because I was pretty happy with it, but now I'm just ecstatic with the shapes that it's made. This was my attempt at a wing pour, an angel wing pour, It's my third time trying and also my third failure. I tried swiping the sides, that didn't really work. It made some drips in the middle, but it looks like a cool feather, so I'm really happy. I'm going to work on the wing pour. I'm determined to make that work. This was another wing pour. I'm just going to cut out the parts that weren't damaged and use those. But I'm really happy. This was at the top of the cup with all of the white, and just, that's not gray, it's black, but there's just a little bit of it. So it makes this pretty gray color. So I'm definitely going to try that mix again because I think it could look a lot like marble and it's really beautiful. I had a lot of black mixed up that I needed to use, and so I had envisioned trying to make malachite, which is darker greens, and so I put some dark green and some metallic blue and some black and probably some white. Oh, and I see some gold in there all together. And instead of malachite, I made this beautiful abalone shell. And this is dry and it's still very iridescent because of the metallic paint. The metallic paint, I had envisioned just having a touch of it, but it really seems to take things over, which I kind of like. But yeah, definitely I need to start using it more sparingly. This was my favorite piece of the night. I think this was also a ring pour, but I didn't shift it back and forth too much because I was so in love with it. I didn't want to mess it up. This one gave me a lot of trouble. It was from the same cup as this, but the green was too bright. I tried swiping it twice with black because that's what I had left. You can see right there, I would love it if it was all like that, if it was all malachite. So I'll try to work on that. I just added too much white and I need to go look at an actual stone of malachite. You can see it got torn when I was lifting it up, and also these might be cells, but they might be from my quilted paper towels. They have a circular design on them, so I definitely need to get some different paper towels for swiping. And somehow I shifted, and this was a failed wing pour as well, and I ended up swiping it and adding in a little bit more metallic because this one was pure white and gold. I just wanted to see what would happen, and it was really bland and looked kind of dirty, so I added this at the end. I'm not super happy with my swiping techniques. I really prefer these beautiful ring pours that look more like natural stone, but I'm going to practice these and try to make some wave designs, and I guess this could be kind of cool, close. And then my last piece of the night also came out kind of abalone with more black because that's what I had. This has a lot of black in it. So overall, I don't know, I was going to give up after 2 weeks, but I decided to try one more time, change up the materials a little bit, change up my pouring style, and I'm really getting to where I want to be. So if you are thinking about trying fluid painting, I think it's really accessible both for price point and also it's pretty easy to get the hang of, but I'm definitely so excited to be sharing my progress with all of you, just so that in a year when I'm really good at this, I can look back at this and laugh. But overall, for this being my third week, and I'm not an artist at all, I don't paint, I don't draw, it's just something I saw that was so cool, I had to try it, and it looked really fun, and it is really fun. So I hope that you've enjoyed my results, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. I'm going to try to mimic malachite again, and I'm going to try to do a kind of an agate look with blue and white, and so I'm going to work on that. Definitely going to try the wing pour again. I'm going to get it someday. I want those angel wings. And I need to do some more research to see what kind of pour I want to do. I may do the ring pour again because I love how it looks like natural stone, and I really want to perfect it, and I understand I probably didn't do that in one night, but overall I'm so thrilled with what it looks like. And thank you for watching, and I hope you go out and make some art today.